Well, hello, and welcome to our get-together today. My name is Dave Hibbs. I'll be your MC for this show. What we're going to be doing today is learning about planning techniques, and the components that go into building a good plan. My heartfelt thanks to all of you who came out on this beautiful spring day. Sun's out, heat's up, and I know we've all experienced a terrible winter this past few months, and this is the best day so far of the new year. So I very much appreciate you being here and taking your time. What are you going to get out of this? You are going to walk away from here today knowing the importance of the components of planning, and those are communications, organization, task management, and the financial end of things. Those are the four keys that we're going to be dealing with today. But more importantly, you're going to learn a new planning technique. And just to give you a little bit of my background and how we came to be here today, I worked 20 years at IBM as a project manager. Started out as a project coordinator, helping different project managers do their jobs, and worked my way up to the point where I was a senior project manager, where they came to call on me for large, complex projects. But over time, I had done both the large and complex, and I did small and not very complex projects. The large, complex projects, I may have 400 people on my team. The small projects, I may have one or two. But the technique that I was using, the tool that I was using, was built for the large ones, but I also had to use it for the small ones. I was certified, and based on certification, you had to follow each of these steps right through that were very good to do when you had a big, large project to do, but they became a burden when you had small projects. So I looked around for different ideas on how to streamline a technique that would fit small and medium-sized plans. And I came up with one. What we're going to see in work today is something called PERT. And that's P-E-R-T. PERT stands for Planning, Evaluation, and Review Technique. You don't need to learn what the letters stand for, but you do want to remember PERT, so that when anybody asks you, how did you plan that so well, you can say, I know PERT. And you can also say what you're going to be saying by the end of this class, I love PERT. Where did PERT come from? PERT was developed back in the 1960s for the Apollo project. It was used extensively. It worked wonderfully. So they transferred it over and used it for the Trident missile submarine building. And it worked wonderfully there. But again, for those projects, PERT was a huge, mammoth, heavy, oppressive kind of technique to use if you wanted to go to do small projects. So what I've done is I've taken the essential techniques of PERT, the main PERT, and brought it down to home, we'll say, home and small business level. And basically for this, you have 3 tools. You have paper, you have pencil or pen, but the most important one is Post-its. God's gift to the project planner. Post-its. Why do I say this? Let's try an example of PERT and not use the Post-its. PERT starts from the end and works its way back. So in our example, we'll use, okay, a party. Party ended. How many here feel that this is basically the wrong way to get started, from starting from the back? Does it seem odd? About a third of the room half-heartedly raised their hands. Well, let's take it a few more steps. The party ended. Okay? You ask yourself the question, what happened just before that? And you can say, the band stopped. Okay? But is that the reason that the party ended? May not be. It may be the food ran out. Would that be the reason? Let's try it again. The people simply went home. Okay? Now we're getting back into the large, project management kind of thing where you have 3 things, could be all of them, but it's up to you how you want them to be. But you can discuss it just with yourself, or you can discuss it with the other stakeholders, like your husband or your wife. And what you're going to do, instead of doing this, you're going to have band, food, and we'll call this the people left. All right. Now, after your discussion, you may have come up with a different conclusion as to why and what order these should be in. So let's say the band stopped, and then the food ran out, and then the people went home. See how you did that? And the other part of this, from a financial standpoint, you can also discuss in your plan, well, the band costs $1,200. What would a DJ cost? And we'll use a and the DJ cost $500. What do you think you're going to do? Well, you're going to take the DJ, knock the band out of there, and now you've got extra funds for more food. So that's how you can come up with how much am I going to spend? You spend $500 on a DJ. You had already allocated, $100 for food. Now you have an extra $300. So you got $400 worth of food, and you're just back to where the party ended. So as you go through each step, you're going to have Post-its on your paper with your pen, mapping out what you're going to do for your party. And again, it's what happened just before. All right. How many think this was helpful so far? Pick a couple of partners and discuss it amongst yourselves. And let's get back after a break and we'll talk some more about this. Okay? Thank you for coming.